Dealing with the vehicle. Dealing with sudden fault in the vehicle. In case of occurrence of sudden fault in the vehicle, the driver must follow the following. Leave carriageway safely without causing an accident by notifying others by this action. Choose suitable place to stop the car. Turn on flasher for flashing lights danger if your vehicle causes obstacle for passing of other drivers. Warn others of the stop of your vehicle and make them know that your vehicle is faulty by placing the reflecting triangle to be the vehicle visible at a distance of 50 meters on the internal roads and 100 meters on the external roads approximately. Turn on side light in case of darkness or poor vision. Do not stand or let someone else to stand between your vehicle and the coming traffic. At night or in poor vision, do not stop at a place that prevents other drivers to see lights of your vehicle and ask help. If you are handicapped, keep in your vehicle, turn on emergency lights and seek help. Dealing with critical faults. 1. Puncture. It is normal for the driver to face puncture while driving, but the risk is when this occurs on a highway, where the driver has to do the following. Take the vehicle out of the road for safety of himself and others. Start braking, slow the speed gradually, and fix steering wheel to prevent the vehicle from deviation of its path. 2. Loss of brakes. The main reason is the negligence of periodic maintenance of the vehicle, and when facing this danger, use heavy shifts, then hand brakes, and then take the vehicle out of the carriageway. Three. Sudden stop of engine. The driver may face this matter, but the risk is when this occurs on a highway, where the driver has to think in how to take the vehicle out of the road without causing traffic accident or confusing traffic motion. Dealing with a trailer. Trailing of a trailer changes performance of the vehicle, where speed increases becomes slower and stop takes longer distance, especially at slopes, and the car may not be turned at turns properly, and the trailer may obstacle the road at acute corners. Also, side winds and traffic motion beside your vehicle, especially big trucks, may affect the balance, as the bumps do on the road. As a result of this, trailing of a trailer may cause tension and stress of the driver. Guidelines for the driver when trailing of a trailer. Avoid using high-speed lanes. Make sure that the trailer is equipped with brake lights in a good condition. Shift transmission gear to allow a position at long or acute slopes to increase control and maintenance of brakes. Avoid change lanes or sudden deviation to decrease risk of side swaying of the vehicle to not be out of control. Avoid sudden braking to reduce speed gradually, except if this is the last option. If the vehicle started swaying, keep driving at the same speed or increase it a little until swaying stops. At the same time, if it is possible to use trailer brakes independently, trailer brakes will return trailer to its balance. Dealing with vehicle load. Do not depend on materials weight to keep it fixed on your truck, where bumps and sudden stop may shift heavy materials, such as furniture, and tools from its place. Take into consideration to purchase cover if you are not usually transfer heavy goods in your truck. Putting canvas or load net on the floor of the truck box will not take long time. Covers will not improve the save of fuel consumption and keep goods clean and dry, but it keeps your load fixed. Dealing with accidents. If any vehicle caused the occurrence of an accident on the road that led to injury of a person or more, the driver of his vehicle must provide necessary help to casualties, inform police, and not move the vehicle from the place of accident except by a permission from police if it is needed to aid the casualty. If there are no casualties in the accident and it is possible to move vehicles of accident parties, these vehicles must be moved to the nearest service parking on the road and inform traffic police immediately. And the driver of the vehicle involved in the accident shall give his name and address to the policeman, as well as the name and address of vehicle owner if requested. Dealing with vehicle modifications. Modified vehicles pose risk to driver and passengers. For example, vehicles added to it high springs and oversized tires may become unstable and subject to overturn, and other modifications pose similar risks. Vehicle manufacturers recommend in owner manuals not to make modifications, and some spare parts companies put warnings on their products. Importance of traffic policeman hand signal. Traffic priority is given to traffic policeman hand signal where it cancels the effect of all road traffic control devices and aims to control vehicles' traffic. Also, there are meanings for traffic policeman whistle sounds based on principles, rules, and meanings, which will be illustrated later. Traffic policeman hand signals. Signal to stop vehicles coming from front. The policeman is facing the coming vehicles, his left or right arm raised at a right angle, his palm facing the front, and the other arm alongside the body to down. Signal to stop vehicles coming from back. The back of the policeman is facing vehicles required to stop. His right or left arm extended straight and aligned with the shoulder, and back palm is in the direction of traffic coming from the back, and the other arm alongside the body down. Signal to stop vehicles coming from front and back together. The policeman is facing the coming vehicles. The left arm is extended straight to up, palm in the direction of coming traffic, while back of policeman is facing the traffic coming from the back. Right arm is extended straight aligned with the shoulder, and back palm is in the direction of these vehicles. Signal for moving of vehicles coming from the front. The policeman is facing traffic, his left arm extended with the brachium in the front at the level of the shoulder, while forearm and palm directed up at a right angle with brachium. Back palm in the direction of the traffic coming from the front, and forearm can be moved to front and back to show the intended signal. Signal for moving of vehicles coming from the right. Traffic motion is for vehicles coming from the right, and vehicles coming from the back and front must completely stop. With the right arm extended with the extent of the shoulder, back palm is open to up, with left brachium at the level of the shoulder from the left side, forearm and the palm at a right angle with the brachium and the motion of the forearm, and palm in the direction of the brachium. Signal for motion of vehicles coming from the left. Traffic motion is for vehicles coming from the left, and vehicles coming from front and back must completely stop, With the left arm extended with the extent of the shoulder, back palm is open to up, with right brachium at the level of the shoulder from the right side. Forearm and the palm at a right angle with the brachium, and the motion of forearm and palm in the direction of the brachium. Traffic policeman whistle signals. Traffic policeman whistle and meaning of its use. The sound of traffic policeman whistle has specific meanings, and the driver has to pay attention and implement it as follows. Short sound followed by long sound means stop signal. When the policeman sees the traffic or the pedestrian's motion should be stopped, he blows short sound for attention and then long sound to stop. Long sound followed by short sound. It means move signal. Long sound to attract attention of the drivers and pedestrians, then blows a short sound to start motion. Short consecutive sound means acceleration. When hearing the sound, all beware to accelerate. Long consecutive sound means increased attention and caution. When the driver and the pedestrian hear the sound, they have to stop to determine the demand of the traffic policeman. It is used also to increase caution between members of the police. Traffic lights. First section. Definition of traffic light. It is an electronic control device that operates with electrical power used in controlling the vehicles and pedestrians' motion. It is the most important traffic motion control device. It comes in the second place after traffic policeman hand signal, which controls traffic motion at crossroads, roundabouts or pedestrians crossings. It includes the following colors. 1. Red light. Stop. It means to stop completely before the stop line if it exists before pedestrian crossing, or before entering the intersection or the roundabout. The driver must wait until the signal color changes. 2. Flashing red light. Stop. It means to stop before the stop line and give way to the other vehicles to pass and the pedestrians to cross. It is like the stop signal or mark. 3. Yellow light. Get ready to stop or to reduce the speed. A. If it comes after the green light, it means the red light will appear and you must stop. B. If it comes after the red light, it means the green light will appear and you must prepare for motion. 4. Flashing yellow light. Give way. It means to move with attention and caution. Give way to pedestrians to cross and to vehicles that have the priority to pass. It is considered like give way sign or mark. 5. Green light. Move. It means to start the motion after making sure that the intersection is clear when this color appears according to the direction determined by the signal or the arrow inside the light signal. 6. Green flashing light. Be ready to stop. It means that you have to reduce the speed and pay attention when you see this light, which indicates that the green light is about to reach to its end and you have to be ready to stop. Second section. Types of traffic lights. Traffic lights are considered the second device used in traffic motion control after traffic policeman hand signal, whether for vehicles or pedestrians. It operates automatically and is divided by use to the following. 1. Vehicles traffic lights. The traffic light consists of 3 colors: red, yellow, and green, and sometimes it is determined by arrows and symbols that commit the driver with a direction. These traffic lights are classified into three types. A. Normal traffic lights, limited. It controls traffic by the traffic light, but with limited time for each direction. And timing in signal cycle is controlled by manual programming of the signal with limited time. Fixed time. Cycle length is constant for all directions, so that times are distributed to different light signal directions according to traffic congestion. B. Traffic lights provided with sensors. It controls traffic on the traffic light electronically according to vehicle's motion on the traffic direction, which is called varying time, where cycle length is not constant in all directions but according to the demand. Probes, timing units, are placed on the road surface. C. Central Control Signals, CCTV. It controls traffic more effectively than the two previous types, especially in successive congestions, where light signal time is controlled by a central control room by time increasing or decreasing according to traffic motion. 2. Pedestrian traffic lights. The driver must know traffic light signals for pedestrians, which are signals used to control pedestrians' motion at the crossroads. Pedestrians' light signals are A. Green light, cross. It means that when you see the green light signal with a picture of a pedestrian moving, the pedestrian can cross the street where they have the priority to cross the roadway. When pedestrians' traffic green color starts to flash, pedestrians must accelerate crossing if they are about to end crossing roadway. But if they did not start to cross the roadway, they must wait until the green color returns again and cross the roadway. That means it is about to change to red color. B. Red light. Stop. When the traffic signal is red with a standing person, pedestrians are prohibited to move or cross the road. C. Flashing yellow light. Cross with attention. Sometimes there is only one light placed at pedestrians' crossings or schools. The driver has to be cautious and decelerate and give way to pedestrians. Three. Sound. Traffic light equipped for blinds. This type of traffic light is used for blinds. When the light signal is red for pedestrians, it produces a sound with short intermittent tone. And when the light signal is green for pedestrians, it produces a sound with a long intermittent tone. To help the blind to know that he is allowed to cross the street. Road surface markings. They are paints, buttons, or other tools placed on the surface of the road, pavements, or sidewalks in order to give drivers information that guide, orient, or warn them during driving on the road. They may be used alone or complementary of other traffic control tools such as signs and traffic lights to emphasize their significance. Stop line. When the driver sees the sign, he has to completely stop before entering the intersection to give way to other vehicles at the intersection to pass. Give way. When the driver sees this sign, he has to reduce the speed of his vehicle before arriving at the intersection in order to give way for other vehicles at the intersection to pass. Pedestrian line. When the driver sees the sign, he has to reduce the speed of his vehicle and check if there are any pedestrians and stop at a sufficient distance from this mark and give way to pedestrians to cross. No overtaking. It can be in one or two continuous lines. Either way, they have the same meaning. And the driver must not overtake when he sees these two lines, because there may be a curve or a height ahead and insufficient visibility. No overtaking to the right direction. The driver who drives his vehicle at the right direction must not overtake when he sees this line, because there may be a curve or a height ahead and insufficient visibility. But the driver who drives his vehicle at the left direction is allowed to overtake. Traffic is forbidden except for buses. This mark means that this lane is forbidden for traffic except for buses, and other vehicle drivers must not drive on this lane. No stop, bus stop. The driver never stops, because this place is allocated for bus stop. If a driver stops, he would obstruct the bus to stop in order to load and unload passengers. No trucks. This mark means that truck drivers must not use this lane because they may cause disturbance and pollution for the area that they pass, or the lane is narrow for entrance of trucks. So the driver must only use the lane allocated to him. Speed limit. The driver has to commit with speed limit on the lane that contains this mark. This mark is used if the maximum speed differs on some lanes and requires less speed because the lane is approaching a traffic intersection. No overtaking island lines. The driver is prohibited to overtake or move on them. They are obstacle islands used instead of paved islands to provide safety. No stop on yellow square. The driver is prohibited to enter the yellow square area except if the lane is clear and there is a green light signal allowing him to move. He is strictly prohibited to stop on this area in order to not obstruct traffic motion. No stop, no parking. This line is used at entrances and exits to prevent stopping and parking of vehicles that may obstruct entry or exit of cars and vehicles. No stop and parking inside carriageway. The driver must not stop or park near from the edge of the road in case of existence of these marks. It is not allowed for vehicles to stop inside the road edge line, but it is allowed to stop outside the road at the right of the line. No stop. The driver must not stop when he sees this continuous zigzag line before and after pedestrian lines. Mandatory lane. This mark means that all vehicles must not change their lane or move from one lane to another when arriving to the area of the continuous line. Usually they exist at entrances, diversions, and crossroads. Mandatory direction. This mark means that all vehicles must not change their lane or move from one lane to another because the two lanes are separated by a continuous line. Keep moving away from islands. This mark means that vehicles must not move over these marks because they are paved islands. These marks are placed instead of sidewalks. Bicycles and pedestrians lane. This mark means that pedestrians and bicyclists must use the lane allocated to them, and drivers must not use this lane because it is allocated for pedestrians and bicyclists only. Bicycle lane. This mark means that bicyclists must use the lane allocated to them, and other drivers must not use this lane because it is allocated only for bicyclists. Bus lane. This mark means that bus drivers must use the lane allocated to them, and other drivers must not use this lane because it is allocated only for buses. Mandatory parallel parking. This mark means that vehicle drivers who want to park in this parking must abide to park their vehicles in a parallel way. Mandatory perpendicular parking. This mark means that vehicle drivers who want to park in this parking must abide to park their vehicles in a perpendicular way. Mandatory angle parking. This mark means that vehicle drivers who want to park in this parking must abide to park their vehicles in an angled way. Handicaps parking. This mark is used to guide road users to handicaps parking. Warning line. This line is intermittent. It is used to warn drivers of a risk or an intersection. Often it is found before the continuous line. Roundabout or intersection ahead. These marks are used before arriving at an intersection, especially roundabouts, where they warn drivers and alert them to reduce the speed and select the suitable lane to enter the roundabout. Speed reduction line. They are used to warn drivers of a risk that require reducing the speed. They look like small bumps and make vehicle wheels produce hitting sounds while moving on it. This is to warn drivers of an existence of a risk. Lanes determination. This mark is used to guide the driver to determine his lane while driving on the road. Road edge determination. This mark is used to guide the driver to know the edge of the road. The line is in yellow or white color.